a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And thank you so much for spending some time with us here on the QB Show. We help you win in any marketplace, doing that by bringing on all of our expert contributors and keeping you in contact with the guys that are making moves, the guys and gals that are making moves in Tampa Bay. We got Andrew Kube in the house, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. We're going to talk about business owners. Attention, business owners. Did you know the government has set aside up to $5 million for every business owner in America? We're going to talk about some of these unique programs that a lot of people probably don't know about. So that can help you or maybe a friend or a loved one. Also, attorney Jason Kube Law in the house. He's got a tip today for people that are applying for disability, some consumer advocate tips coming up here on the program. I want to let you know about a big charity event that we're really hoping that you can support and help us out with. It's called the Great Clothing Swap. And my wife has been working with our team and other folks that are volunteering time for the last 3 or 4 months sorting clothes. We've got up to, I think, 2,000 plus items. And these are some really nice clothing, some secondhand vintage clothing, vintage big names that you would like, and designer names. The goal is to raise $15,000, donate over 30 bags of clothing to women and children in need in Tampa Bay. It's called the Great Clothing Swap. It's taking place on Saturday, November 4th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Tarpon Springs Yacht Club right there in Pinellas County. You get amazing, gently used clothing for as little as $5. All proceeds are going to help women and children in the area, and it's a perfect time to stock up for holiday gifts as well. And it could be a fun afternoon or evening, a morning for your friends and family because VIP tickets get you in first. You get first look at all the clothing. You're going to get apps, mimosas, massage chairs, live music as well. We've got a QR code here where you can scan. There's also a link on Facebook as well, and I believe as well on an Eventbrite. Great Clothing Swap, the Great Clothing Swap charity event put on by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Also looking for volunteers and sponsors, so if you'd like to be able to, support, that would be great. So please help us meet our mission of helping women and children in need here in Tampa Bay with the Great Clothing Swap charity event coming up on Saturday, November 9th, 9 o'clock at the Tarpon Springs Yacht Club. And a quick shout out to our Tampa restaurant partner, Brio Tuscan Grill. I tell you, I love their salad over there. I've been on the salad kick lately, trying to eat healthy. They've got this awesome salmon with a bed of lettuce, tomatoes, cheeses. Excellent food. Brio actually means lively or joyful. So there's a little bit of Italian for you. Fresh from scratch, Tuscan-inspired prepared meals. Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza. Excellent food, official Tampa Bay sponsor, restaurant sponsor for the Consumer Quarterback Show. Monday through Friday, they have their happy hour going on. And make sure you say hello to Chef Oscar Ramirez and also say hello to the general manager. His name's Joseph. And they're going to hook you up with an appetizer. Just let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers. And they'll also give you a free water with lemon. Have you ever had the water with lemon over there, Andrew? So, yeah, a little fun there. But so we got Andrew Kube in the house. We're going to jump into this. Give us just a quick teaser about this $5 million, and then I got to plug a couple of properties, but I'm going to come right back to you on that.
Okay, so, yeah, the business is set aside. First off, thanks for having me on the show again, Brandon.
Of course.
The business, the government has set aside $5 million for every small business in the United States to help grow their business. So what we do at U.S. Commercial and Business Capital, we work with the business owners. If they have an idea to expand their current business, if they're looking to start a business, they're looking to buy a business. There's money out there that the government has set aside to help you do that. Their thinking is it improves the economy, creates jobs. So please call me at 727-296-8650, 727-296-8650, and I can get with you and show you how the programs work.
And consumerqb.com as well, just in case you didn't catch that, or maybe you're driving, consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors there, and of course, Andrew Kube. More from him coming up in just a minute. We always like to feature our listings as well. It's one of our strategies that helps our sellers sell faster for more money. Cool strategy that we offer through the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. We've got a really cool property here, 7,300 100 Shoreline Boulevard in Weeki Wachee. This is a commercial property. We've got a really unique motel for sale here. This is a cool opportunity. Commercial property with residential lot included, 5 fully furnished waterfront suites, all kayaks and furnishings included, situated on 2 lots. It's a picturesque and serene location with the river access right from the dock. So check out that unique opportunity there. Weeki Wachee Springs is close as well. Pine Island Beach, community of great restaurants, local hot spots is there, pristine sunsets. This is a unique opportunity to own your own commercial property. You can see the mermaids and explore the outdoors, or just take a break from the hustle and bustle city life. Weeki Wachee is definitely a hot spot for tourists. Great opportunity there. Now, Andrew, I want to get your opinion. Commercial property here, waterfront. That has a lot of opportunity.
Absolutely. So, if somebody was to buy that property, and obviously it looks like, I just saw it, but it looks like a business where they rent out kayaks and different things.
Yep, and the rooms as well. You got the rooms, so overnight stays. So you've got an Airbnb destination, popular hotspot there, Manatee Landing. So you have like the Manatee side, the lifestyle there, small town on the Gulf Coast, Weeki Wachee. So yeah, it's a commercial property with residential lots included, and they're all waterfront suites. So the rents are there, and if they want to see more information, of course, we can email them the seller disclosures and any kind of surveys or information we have.
Okay, yeah, that property could, I have to do a little more research, but it could qualify for an SBA loan where the client would need to put 10% down and then could get money within the loan to do any type of rehab or anything they want to do to help grow that business.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So that frees up extra capital then for potentially for updating certain things, or maybe now what's the specifications for that monies? Would it have to go into the property renovation wise, or could it be utilized for marketing or things of that nature?
So basically, what was the purchase price on the property?
That one's over $1 million. I don't remember right offhand, but yeah, it's over $1 million, I believe.
So as an example, and we'll just use $1 million. So somebody could buy that property for $1 million, and let's say to run the property, let's say they had to hire new associates, so they had to pay the existing associates that work the property. They could get money to cover their pay for the first 3 to 4 months. They could get any equipment that they needed to have maintenance on the property that they needed. They could do any rehab to the property. They could get money for really anything they needed to help grow that business. And so the way that loan would work, let's say, for instance, they bought the property for $1 million. They needed $100,000 in working capital. They needed $100,000 in rehab and fixtures for the property. So let's say they needed another $300,000. Well, in that situation, they'd be doing a loan for $1.3 million. They'd have to put down $130,000, but they're walking away with $300,000 more than they started with to help grow that business.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, just think of that, how life-changing that can be when you structure the right loan with the right property. We're talking with Andrew Kube here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. U.S. Commercial and Business Capital is his company, and he's been in the business for decades. Now, this is, when you think about business financing and these types of loans, it's not something you want to walk into your bank that you have maybe an auto loan with or something along those lines, because they're not going to have access to the different types of programs. Can you explain the dynamic of how you're able to shop for these different business owners?
Absolutely. So I work with probably somewhere in the neighborhood of around 20 lenders, SBA lenders, that I've narrowed down from the 50 that I started with. And they all like different projects. So,
right.
So if you go into your local bank, they're not going to do projection-based loans, which a lot of the loans that I do are projection-based, and I can explain that. But I have so many more options for you than your local bank that's going to require usually more capital down, as well as they might not be getting you the money that you need to really grow that business. So through the programs and the lenders that I work with, they want you to succeed. So they're going to give you enough money up to that $5 million that we talked about to be able to to help grow your business.
I just looked it up. That's $1.75 million asking price on that property at 7300 Shoreline Boulevard, Weeki Wachee. Great opportunity, very unique property there. So yeah, I love that idea of reaching out to the program and talking to Andrew and let's discuss something too. Let's go a little more macro here. When you look at what's happening overall in the economy, we've got, of course, some challenges, but in the commercial office, there are particularly some scary potential for foreclosures there and a tightening in that market. Can you explain that dynamic with these loans coming due and the interest rates?
Yes. So the commercial office space right now is a space that, because of COVID, because of people working out of their house, and because of a lot of the stuff that we see in some of the major cities like San Francisco, Philadelphia, to name a few more, or just to name a few, but those are some of the top two cities right now where office is, people are working out of their house and not going into the office, and therefore the landlords are in a situation where they're struggling renting the property out, and they have notes that are getting ready to come due. If they could have been on a 5-year or 7-year loan, to where 5 years ago they got a really low rate on that property to be able to have that property cash flow, and now their loans are going to balloon.
Right.
So interest rates are up. So when they go back to their banker to try to refinance those properties, or if it balloons, they have to pay, either refinance or pay it off. They're going to be in a situation now where the payments are going to be higher than the money they have coming in to pay their note.
Yep.
And that's going to lead to either the lenders having to do some type of readjustment to their loan, or foreclosure.
Yeah, loan modification or foreclosure, yep. or Hail Mary. Call Andrew, see if he can find somebody in his database, because you do have access to all of these different lenders that are looking to make deals. But it just there's a lot of variables there, of course.
Yeah, just because your bank won't do it or the lender is not going to do it, please reach out to me. And see if I can help you find a solution. Yeah,
consumerqb.com, folks. You can find all of our information there at consumerqb.com. And before we go to break, I just wanted to touch on an interesting story. You've been hearing a lot about Trump Towers and the valuation and things, how this is kind of playing out. But this was an interesting clip I found. I want to play this clip and then I'll comment.
Say Trump Towers worth $100 million.
Yeah.
They're going to say, nah, it's worth 10. We're seizing that $10 million. Trump, you owe us $240 million. They're going to strip him of all of his properties and resources in New York. The judge ordered the dissolution of the Trump organization, which means thousands of employees lose their job overnight. He gave him 10 days to do it.
Wow.
So Trump's got to appeal this. But, dude, when we're at the point where Trump's lawyers are being arrested, and they've been already indicted, when other Trump lawyers since 2020 have been sanctioned to the tune of millions of dollars, and now a judge is ruling Trump's properties are worthless and he committed fraud, the next move likely is to seize his properties. Welcome to communism, dude.
It's a scary time.
Scary
time in this, when you have these types of what they call lawfare. You have these types of situations where you can have reckless and a lot of times, of course, partisan DAs, prosecutors going after President Trump for allegedly inflating the value of his assets, and it's a victimless crime. So I just thought that was an interesting. I wanted to point that out, but just pretty crazy. We got big government getting in the way of free flowing capitalism, and unfortunately it's all driven by hate and politics. So support the good guys on this battle that we're fighting right now. So let's take a quick break. More with Andrew Kube coming up here. U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. We're going to talk more about how small business owners can win in today's market, even offsetting some of the challenges that are out there. Yes, we know inflation is there. We know interest rates are up, but you got to be creative. There's ways we can help you do that here with the Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes 1 at CQB Show, and connect with us as well on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would mean the world to us. Brandon Rhymes Realty on YouTube. We'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, Knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
I want to give a special thanks to Satellite Phone Store. They just hooked me up with this beautiful satellite phone, and it's a gorgeous phone. It's a great device. It's a safety device as well. Think about it. If you're out on the boat 40, 50 miles out, maybe you're going hunting or you're going hiking in the woods somewhere, you run out of cell phone service, or who knows, maybe a possible terrorist attack. It's not like our politicians aren't entrenched in all this stuff going on overseas, all over the place, all over the world. Could be a terrorist attack. They could attack the power grid. They could attack the cell phones. Who knows what they're going to attack next. Sat123.com/REQB. Sat for satellite, sat123.com/REQB, like real estate quarterback.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, Brandon Rhymes back here in studio with Andrew Kube, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. I got to give a shout out to my friends over at Heights Soft Wash, pressure washing company. They just came over and hooked up my home, did a great job cleaning the property. Pressure washing, commercial, residential properties. Reach out to heightssoftwash.com, heightssoftwash.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. You heard about him right here on the Consumer QB Show. All right, we got Andrew Kube in the house, 11722 County Road 672, commercial property / residential property. You might say, well, how can it be both? Well, what we've got a fully equipped farm that encompasses 19.73 acres, almost 20 acres of land with a single-family home. You've got a warehouse on site, 40-foot by 100-foot warehouse where you can back your semi-trucks right back up to those tractor trailers, and you load up all your fruit or your trees. And you've got ample storage there for your farming needs. You got 20 acres with citrus trees, palm trees. You also have a separate green room there as well, greenhouse. Single-family home, beautiful property. Got a creek kind of running down the middle of it there. Great opportunity to own real estate at 11722 County Road 672 in Riverview, one of our commercial properties here in Tampa Bay. 7202 U.S. Highway 301 South in Riverview. This is another commercial property. This is a unique property. I'm going to get Andrew's take on these different properties and how you could finance these as well. This one's 7202 U.S. Highway 301 South in Riverview. 50,000 vehicles a day passing by. It's a premium corner lot location. You've got two building parcels there as well, two separate businesses. You got a barber shop operating out of the office space, and you also have a muffler, brake shop, tune-up, auto care type setup there as well. 7202 U.S. Highway 301 South in Riverview. And you can see all of our real estate listings at platinumcoastalelite.com. That's right. Shout out to our veterans, our troops out there as well. So, Andrew, I wanted to break these down. Let's go with the 11722 County Road 672. Give me your thoughts on this property, the 20-acre farm, single-family home, and a warehouse. How would you look at that from a lending perspective?
So the first thing that I would say, if somebody wants to buy this property for their farming business, for their business, they could do this under the SBA program. 10% down, they could buy the property. They would have to operate at least 51% of that property for their business. And then the SBA does not care what you do with the other 49%. So as long as your business, we could show that your business is operating at least half of that property, then we could do it under the SBA loan. And again, it would be 10% down of the money that you need to help grow the business. So for instance, if you are going to need tractor trailer, you're going to need different machinery for the business, whatever you're going to need, that will be added to the top of the loan. and then you would have 10% of that. So typically, as long as you have that 10% investment, you're not going to need any money to help grow that business. You'll have $5 million total for that whole project to be able to spend however you want. So that would be the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you got a single-family home, you live on site, you got the warehouse there where you're backing the tractor truck trailers up to, and you're loading up. Maybe you're selling seedlings. Maybe you're selling some smaller palm trees. You're loading them up on there. Or maybe you're harvesting some of the citrus, selling it up to Washington, D.C. area. You know, they're taking that fruit up to colder climates, especially, I believe, this time of year. So that's a cool farm. You got 20 acres there at 11722 County Road 672. I want to go to the other property that we just looked at as well, 7202 U.S. Highway 301 South in Riverview. This is another commercial property. So this one's operating with a barber shop on one side, and then you also have the mechanic shop, Andrew.
Yeah, so the first question I would ask that is, as far as the mechanic shop, what percentage does the mechanic there operate of that property? Does he take more than 50% of that property? Because the first question would be, hey, has anybody talked to the mechanic to see if he wants to buy the property for no money down?
Okay.
Because he would absolutely. And so that's the rule of thumb. 51% is what you have to think about. As an investor, if you want to buy this property, you'd be looking at 20% down. I could probably help you find a rate in the high 6s to low 7s right now.
Nice.
On a 25-year amortization.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And that's a big difference, too. The 25-year amortization, that's pretty good. That's pretty aggressive. Normally, I mean, back in the day, you'd think about a 20-year loan in commercial, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and if you go to your bank, a lot of your banks will want to do 20-year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's going to get them more return on their investment, more capital up front. As owner occupants, we want longer terms. This way we can cash flow more, and we might have a long-term play, right? So you want that 25-year, and sometimes you can find 30, or is that still available or no?
Typically 25 is the max that you'll be able to find on a commercial loan and get a good interest rate.
Yeah.
If there are lenders out there that might do 20, that might do less than that, but typically on that, or longer term, but typically, if you want the best rates, the 25-year amortization is going to be the max amortization. But yeah, I've talked to a lot of banks, and they're doing 15 and 20-year amortizations where it prices the client out the deal.
Now, you were also able to help us on some of our vacant land properties as well. We've got 60 listings out there with our team, 60 listings. We have vacant land, commercial properties, and residential, of course. You were able to help us on some of the vacant land?
Yeah, so most lenders are going to want, when you speak to them, they're going to want right now for land, especially if you're not developing the land, if you just want to buy it and hold on to it. And that situation is going to require more of a down payment. Your banks, if they're going to do it, they're going to tell you probably have to put down 35%. I do have lenders that will come into that space at 25% down.
Okay.
Where if you're actually building on it right now, then it's a little bit different. You can get better loan to cost or loan to value terms.
Okay.
But the rate's still on the land. It's going to be a little bit higher, but you're still probably in the high 7s.
Okay.
On land right now.
Yeah, Andrew Kube in the house here, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, of course, top real estate agent here in Tampa Bay. We're in the top 100 out of 20,000 teams. And Andrew, we got about a minute left here, 30 seconds back to you. Final thoughts, where do you want people to connect with you?
Best way to connect with me is just by calling my phone number, cell number, 727-296-8650, or you can visit us on their website at USCBcapital.com, and you can set up an appointment with us on the website as well. USCBcapital.com, consumerqb.com, and of course, it's always great having you in, Andrew. I would urge you to talk to your friends as well. Talk to your friends out there, people that are in business and have businesses. Let them know about this, because sometimes you can restructure debt, you can refinance, you can really put yourself into a better position if you're financing things appropriately and you're able to take advantage of some of these different programs that Andrew has access to that a lot of the local banks or big banks on the corner will not.
that. So thanks again, Andrew. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, attorney Jason Coble. He's got some awesome tips here. We're going to talk about tips for applying for disability. Workers' comp is another big area that he talks about, personal injury as well. And we'll probably talk about some of the current events happening as well here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to My Daddy's Show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify.